Hi there YouTubers and model rail enthusiasts. I'm going to do something I've never done before, and that is I'm going to do a review. The reason being that I just picked up this afternoon from a local model rail shop, second hand, so you can see it's all kind of jumbled in there, and when I take it out, it looks like a bit of Lego set actually. But actually this is the DCC Concepts rolling rod active set with 6 rollers, known as the RRA6. You might find there's only 5 here. That's because when I was doing a dry run I dropped one of these in the flow and I can't be bothered finding it. We'll get it later on. Okay, I want to get this for N gauge, because I want to test a lot of N-gauge locomotives, so I set up a little test track here, and I'm going to have to take these rollers off and fit them onto the formers for N-gauge. There are, I think, 4 sizes, and if we look at what it says here, if I can get it to focus, different pairs of not very good writing, I'm afraid. Let's try that. It's EM-P4, ON-HO, ON30, HON9 and so on. So it covers a number of different gauges, and these spacers allow you to fit onto the appropriate track with the rollers fitted. So you get 1 set of rollers and 4 sets of formers. Because the tray is missing, I've had to experiment to find the N-gauge formers, and they're the smallest ones. So that's one of them. And there's another. If I keep looking, that's not one. That's one. There's 3. That's 4. And there should be one more. 5, because I said I dropped one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, quite straightforward so far. So let me just come in a wee bit, and what we'll do is we'll clear most of the stuff I don't need. I'll take one of these. These are set up for OO or HO, apparently that's the most common, and I'm going to remove the rollers and fit them onto an N-gauge former, like so. So I have my trusty little small bit Phillips, and these screws are very tiny, so you have to be really careful, but they come out easy enough. Sit there, and the metal roller part just slides out. Turn it round and do the same again. Being careful not to lose these titchy screws. So this former can go to one side, and I'll bring in my N-gauge. Oh, I've got one. Got one already. So I'll bring in my N-gauge former. So 1 set of rollers, just slide it in there. Carefully insert a screw, and then simply screw in. And if you have N-gauge, as I do, then this has to be done for each roller. I read an article along the lines of, somebody asked DCC Concepts, why didn't they make a set for each rather than every, and I think it was down to economics. They decided easier letting the user decide which gauge to set them for. So this is what the underside looks like, and the theory is if I turn this upside down, and that will sit on there, and that means that the power will get to the rollers through these brackets. So I'm going to have a pause now, and I'll build up 3 rollers and I'll test a locomotive and see how good they work. Just before I do that, I'm just going to try the rollers. They look really smooth, and of course You can adjust this to suit your size, so you can fit them under the wheels of most locomotives. Okay, just let me get this done and I'll be back very shortly. I brought the camera down so I can have a wee look at it, just turn the wheels round slightly. And I've got 3 rollers set up. I'm going to test it with this little Santa Fe shunting. It's supposed to be blue and yellow, but it looks black and yellow to me. I'm not going to quibble about that. The wheels are quite closely packed together, so I think I'll just use 2 of the rollers to sit it on. If that doesn't work, I can always put 3 on. Sitting it on seems to be fairly easy. You can just slide the rollers about and the wheels will sit into the pair of rollers. It sits into the wee gap between them. Right, I'm just going to bring the power up and we'll see how this goes. Well, there's not a problem there, having touched the power. It's a good locomotive, I know that. And there it goes, nice and smooth. There's not any of this wobble you get with some rolling roads. Now we can take it back into reverse and see if that helps. And look at that, and again you can see, although it's going quite fast, the locomotive seems quite stable. With some rolling roads you get a lot of wobble back and forward. Okay, I like that. Okay, let me just take that off again. And I'm just going to try it with a locomotive which I know can be a bit sticky. Well, I'm back this time with a DMU. You may have seen this in an earlier video where I replaced the gear mechanism. I really need 4 rollers because of the front carriage, but we'll try. There should be enough contact to get the thing running. So let me just put the power up a wee bit. Oh, I'm just trying it. There we go. Let me just try and fudge it a wee bit. It's trying to work. You can hear it trying to work. Oh, there we go. There we go. So maybe a 4th roller would help this particular one. But it's simple to use, and for end gauge, I think this will suit me just fine. I don't know much about the technicalities of the bearings. Somebody will tell me what kind of bearings there are, and all I know is it looks pretty good. I think it'll just be a case of making sure to keep them well clean for the wheels, to allow good contact, and as well lubricated for the rollers so that they don't get sticky. Right, I'm going to get another roller made up, and I can use this for my DMUs that need 4 axles. I suppose the main purpose of a review is to decide whether I like it or not. And I have to confess, I like it. I like its simplicity. I like the ease of operation. Just can take any bit of rail you like. I suppose you can even do this on a main track if you're deciding. The one drawback, I suppose, is I tend to work with different gauges like 00. I've even got a few 3 rail, in which case if I want to switch to 00, I would probably have to remove the rollers and put them back onto the correct formers, and that's a lot of problems, especially when you look at these screws, that if you take these in and out of the plastic formers once or twice, I think you're going to strip the holes, which are quite small, and then you won't get them to fit properly. So I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this for N gauge, and I've got my Marion Zeller for double O, and I've even got an H&M rolling road which I used to use before. So I think for double O I wouldn't use these again, I'll just keep this for N gauge. Once you get the rollers fitted, I think these will be good. I'll just have to keep them in a little tray handy for when I need to use them. So if I were to rate this for my purposes anyway, I think it's definitely a good 8 out of 10. I like the concept. I know that DCC, I read an article before, were asked, so why don't you make different sets of rollers for different gauges, and I think they put it down to an economy, that if they make one set of rollers, which I think are the most expensive bit, and then provide the user with enough different types of formers, then they can basically please themselves. But I wouldn't suggest you keep chopping and changing. I would make sure that if you get a set of these, set them up for the scale you want, and then if you need another set, you could always purchase them. I don't think these even come as separate spares from DCC Concept, but I'm going to investigate that. The other thing is keep looking for second-hand sets, and maybe you can build up a few sets of your own. As I said, this is my N-gauge rolling road now, and these will be replaced by my Marion Zeller. Okay, YouTubers, I hope that's helped. It's certainly given me an insight into the rolling road, and I hope that over the next few weeks I'll be able to show it in action, because I've got an absolute heap of second user N-gauge locomotives that need a lot of TLC. So I'm sure you'll be seeing me a lot more in the future. Until then, YouTubers, take care and keep watching YouTube. Bye for now.